Hello everyone, I'm Gi Shin, working at Line and in charge of researching and developing authentication standard. And I'm very excited to introduce our effort to provide better authentication to hear you guys. So this is the agenda that I will cover today. First, I'm briefly introduce the background of today's talk, and I'm going to explain FIDO, which stands for Vested Identity Online, and then I'm going to share what we've done before, and finally, I'm share our roadmap and long-term strategy. Okay, let's jump into the slides. So here, how many accounts do you have? Maybe depending on the person, the number might be different, but you will have more than hundreds of accounts. And many of accounts you don't remember. Then how many passwords do you have? I'm pretty sure that the number of your passwords are less than your number of accounts, which means that you are reusing same password across services. We really rely on password for everyday life. But I would like to ask you the following question. Do you really like password? Does anyone here like password? Maybe no one. In fact, nobody like password. Only hackers love it. Password is hard to create, remember, and input, especially when you are using it on your mobile devices. You might feel frustration when you are using password, but this is also true that many services are relying on password as an authentication method. So for hacker, they are trying to take over your account by performing various type of attack like social engineering, phishing, keylogging, and credential stuffing. And such attacks are very effective for hackers to take over your account. Unfortunately, it's true that passwords are secure. Please see the following data. According to the study from Verizon, the security incidents almost increased to 80% from 2016 to 2017. Among such data breaches, 81% is due to password. Passwords are root of almost breaches. Also, you need to spend almost 20% of support costs just for handling forgotten password. Then do we really relying on password even it is not secure and usable and operation costs are so high? No, I think we have solutions like password manager, so we can generate strong password and store them in the client side or password manager and use them. But still, the credential is symmetric and stored in the server side as well. Also, you can add more factor in addition to the password, like OTP or SMS code, but it is still phishable and some techniques are not usable. And thanks to biometric sensors from recent devices, you can use fingerprint, face, iris, which is very simple and intuitive, but there are many concerns regarding privacy and security. Also, we can reduce the number of inputting password when we are using federation like single sign-on or OpenID Connect, but this does not solve password problem itself. I think these solutions are very great. We can achieve more security when we are using this solution. But the best is yet to come. We need more user-friendly and secure authentication. This is today's main topic, best authentication solution. So what is the best authentication solution? It's FIDO. FIDO is a unicorn of authentication. So what is FIDO? FIDO is the answer from the industry to the password problem. From 2012, with over 250 members and 30 plus partners, FIDO Alliance uh, spent more than 10,000 hours to solve this problem. FIDO stands for Fast Identity Online. Think about the situation where you build a system or services which need providing strong authentication and fast authentication. Maybe you are trying to search something in the internet and start to design something by your own. I would say that don't reinvent the wheel. If you invent it by yourself, it will less secure and scalable and interoperable. Also, you cannot spend much time, which means that you never build better authentication system. So FIDO has been designed based on the following principle. First one is easy to use. Second one is strong against various attacks. Third one is pluggable and interoperable. And fourth is privacy preserving. So if you leverage FIDO for your system, you can achieve these things. So how does FIDO work? It's basically based on the public key cryptography. In FIDO, simply there are three actors. First one is the authenticator device. It's a kind of your device having every day, like phone or laptop or even external dongles, which is typically called in security key in FIDO word. And second one is the user who owns and controls such devices. And the last one is RP server, which is typical backend server for services. So for FIDO authentication, RP server sends some challenges to the client device to verify user identity by sending random number. Then the device authenticator prompts user gesture to the user. Depending on the capability of authenticator, the gesture might be simple touch or biometric or pattern or pin. Then user performs the user gesture by scanning your face or just touching button. Then you can prove yourself to the authenticator. Then the authenticator tries to unlock the private key, which is stored in the client side, and then generate the signature and send that signature to the server. And then server tries to verify that signature with the public key. So this is the basic of FIDO. So FIDO Alliance has been publishing couple of specification. In 2015, FIDO 1, including UEF and U2F, is published, and it's very first version of FIDO. Recently, FIDO Alliance has introduced new specification, which is called FIDO 2. FIDO 2 consists of two parts. One is FIDO 2 CTAP, client to authenticator protocol, which is the protocol between external authenticator and the browser. The other part is WebAuthn. WebAuthn is standardized by WTC, which is the standard body for web. WebAuthn defines the API for web application and the way for browsers to handle such APIs. Also, there are platform interfaces for authenticator, which is attached to the device. So if you are in charge of application or services, you need to look at WebAuthn specification. Now you are understanding FIDO, but why FIDO matters to us and others? Normally, to protect the system and users, typically security of such systems are layered. So if certain type of attacks breaks one layer, still the system is safe if there are additional layers to block it. Many of the attacks are blocked very efficiently with strong authentication. With authentication, we can hardly make sure that communicating party is the right user that we expect. This will dramatically reduce many number of attack surfaces. Also, Line is now expanding fintech area more and more, since fintech handles more personal information, even like your money. protecting your account and asset becomes more important to us. Also, since authentication is crucial experience to users, providing simple and frictionless authentication is another important factor. That's why we are interested in the authentication, especially FIDO. So, what makes FIDO different from other solutions? FIDO allows for the creation of strong, attested, and scoped credentials. It provides strong assurance devices. Since the only legitimate device know your credential and stored in the secure area, only that device can authenticate properly. So FIDO provides something you have factor as an authentication factor. And it also provides multi-factor authentication if the authenticator has user verification features like biometric, simple pattern, or PIN, or others. And FIDO split local authentication and online authentication. So without changing your application or server, you are able to support various type of local authentication with same implementation. You don't need to write again. And FIDO is supported by major browsers and platforms like Windows and Android. Let me explain such difference one by one. Okay, with FIDO, you can achieve strong assurance of device position. FIDO credential has following properties. Key is generated randomly, so you and attacker cannot guess the key. This is the big difference from password which you are using every day with. Also, the key is stored in the secure area and never be extracted to the application or delivered through the network. And generated key is attested with trust root, which means that any malware cannot emulate the genuine authenticator. Also, to prove the device has a key, FIDO uses digital signature. So only devices having the key can generate the valid signature. Only way for the attacker to impersonate as you is to have a physical possession of your device. So they need to steal your devices. Also, if there is a client-side protection, the attacker must find a way to spoof your biometric or guess your PIN. Within the time, if the anti-hammering protection blocks and locks your devices. Also, with the help of various user verification methods, we can provide multi-factor authentication with FIDO. FIDO, by default, offers something you have factor. Also, we can add something you are or something you know. In FIDO context, such something you are and something you know factors are verified locally on your device. Such information is never shared with servers or never be delivered through the network. So only device owner can prove his identity with consistent user gesture across all services. You don't need to create, remember, use different password for all services. You are using same gesture across all services, but the credentials are different. So this is big difference from password. The other thing which makes FIDO different is that major browser and platform support. Since FIDO is a kind of de facto standard, now is ITU-T international standard, many platform and browsers support FIDO. So you can use FIDO with following browsers and platform. And the number of support is increasing. So you will see FIDO everywhere soon. Okay, it's time for sharing what we've done. I'm very excited to introduce LineFIDO platform to you. There are two major components in LineFIDO platform. One major component is LineFIDO server. So for integrating FIDO, you need to have a FIDO server to verify the authentication request. Reline achieved the world first FIDO universal server certification in last year. Our FIDO server can work with any FIDO devices. That means we can cover most of FIDO certified devices in the market, no matter which spec is supported by devices. Our FIDO server has been in-house developed. And following is the our server software stack. So if you have any interest to write FIDO server, you can refer our software stack. So LineFIDO server is built on top of Spring Boot with reactive stack. We are using Spring Boot as a framework, and we are using MongoDB as a persistent storage layer, and we are using Redis for session management. And we have two FIDO server deployment there. One is authentication as a services model. So any relying party who want to provide the FIDO authentication can simply integrate FIDO by using our APIs. Also, if the regulation forces to have standalone authentication server in a dedicated environment, such services can build their FIDO integrated services. Financial services like LinePay, banks are typical services that need to build FIDO server separately. Let's talk about the client side. For native application, we have modules for developers to easily integrate FIDO. For iOS, we have LineFIDO 2 combo. Since Apple is not yet supporting FIDO natively, RP should build FIDO client-side stack by themselves. So we built FIDO client stack, which is called LineFIDO 2 combo. LineFIDO 2 combo leverages Touch ID and Face ID as a user verification method, and leverages white box cryptography to provide attestation. Such features are built on top of LTSM, which stands for Line Trusted Security Module. So LTSM is a kind of wrapper for keychain and white box cryptography. For Android, we have LineFIDO 2 Compact module. From Android 7, Google provides the FIDO Authenticator within the Google Play services. But for older devices or services who want more customized FIDO user experience, we built our own authenticator based on the LTSM. And to provide consistent API, we wrap the Google API and Line Authenticator API with single interfaces, which is called LineFIDO 2 Glue. So any services can use any type of authenticator depending on their requirement or flavor with the single interface. Then which services are using FIDO in Line? Yeah, LinePay is now using FIDO. From this September, if you are using LinePay application for iOS, you are using FIDO for your authentication already. The reason why LinePay adopt FIDO is that, as I mentioned before, FIDO provides the best level of security without sacrificing any usability. In fact, before adopting FIDO, LinePay had biometric authentication, which is almost same UX to the FIDO integrated UX. But we decided to replace it with FIDO. With FIDO integration, we can protect our users from attacks more effectively. As a result, our customer trust LinePay and use it more and more. This is the high-level architecture of LinePay system for FIDO integration. So on the top, there is a LinePay central server, which handles the customer authentication and transaction authentication. This server originally handles 60-digit PIN authentication and legacy biometric authentication. Now we introduce new component. On the center of slide, as you can see, there is a new component, LinePay RP server. This server handles FIDO operation in between LinePay application and Line FIDO server. For the client, LinePay app integrate Line FIDO combo as a FIDO client stack. So rather than directly performs the authentication on LinePay central server, now Line FIDO server performs authentication with the help of LinePay RP server. Due to financial regulation, such authentication server needs to be deployed in dedicated area or in each countries. That's the reason why I draw similar component for LinePay Taiwan. FIDO has basically two operations. The first one is registration. Registration is the process of generating a key pair and registering the public key to the server. You can register when you launch LinePay for the first time or through the setting menu. Right now, our primary authentication method is 60-digit PIN code, so you need to create it first and then register the FIDO credential. Then, every time the server needs to authenticate you, the app will prompt you to authenticate with biometrics. For iOS, you can use Face ID and Touch ID. For Android, you can use fingerprint and face. So after registering FIDO credential, you need to authenticate yourself if the server needs to authenticate you. The authentication process is generating a digital signature on the client side and sent back to the server and being verified on the server with registered public key. Basically, there are two authentication use cases. One is for app launching. So if you want to protect LinePay from someone simply take your phone and launch the app, please use this one. The other case is that you can explicitly confirm the transaction if you scan QR code for payment. The use cases will be added more like money transfer or money withdrawal. So when you want to transfer your money, you can use FIDO. This is the LinePay deployment plan. Now we have FIDO integrated standalone app for iOS, which was released in this September. And very soon, you will see the FIDO integrated standalone app for Android. And if you have Pixel 4, also you can use face recognition as a user verification method. And next year, we will also introduce FIDO to LinePay in Line application and expand FIDO integration to more countries like Taiwan. So, what is the next for us? First of all, we would like to offer more secure and easier bootstrapping process for new devices. Let's say you are using Line on your phone or watch. Then you buy a new laptop and want to use Line with your laptop. For this, we would like to leverage your phone or watch as a key for new devices based on FIDO. Remember that I mentioned before, FIDO Authenticator can be external one, and it can communicate with platform with through the local channel like USB or Bluetooth or other way. And in this scenario, your phone or watch act like an authenticator. So with your devices, you can simply bootstrap on your devices. The user scenario might be something like this. When you buy a new laptop, on your laptop, you click dedicate button saying login with your phone or watch. Then you will see the prompt on the phone or watch, then confirms it by touching button or scanning your face or fingerprint. Then without inputting any information on your laptop, you can authenticate simply. So all you need is that you register FIDO credential on your mobile and then use that credential for new devices, laptop, PC, others. And apparently, we will support re-authentication scenario with FIDO. So if the user visit or launches the services again after expiring the session or need to confirm explicitly something like transaction by the user, we might prompt the authentication to the user again. You need to prove your identity with single gesture and then use the services. This is especially useful for the people who want to protect their account in a very secure way. On your phone, laptop, or PC, if you turn on this feature, you will be asked to verify yourself with FIDO. If you are concerned about your security and privacy, please turn on this feature after we enable this feature. Also, for financial services, the services need to know your identity during onboarding process to make sure that the right people we are talking with. So for getting a user identity, those services run KYC, know your customer, process with government issued identity document and your face, like selfie. After then, we can prompt you to register your device with FIDO. Then we can have a binding between your identity and FIDO credential. This has some advantages. KYC helps to recover the account if the FIDO devices are lost. With performing KYC again, we can register new device, FIDO device again. And FIDO helps to reduce the KYC process if the credential was bound to the FIDO devices. Then just performing FIDO authentication, we can assure that the same person we are talking with. So with FIDO, we can achieve more secure identity proofing process. This is what I want to talk today. Go passwordless. This is our long-term strategy for authentication. Line will move step by step to go passwordless. We are now on the first stage to provide FIDO for user convenience. We are trying to provide FIDO authentication to users of various services. Many people will be educated to use it as an authentication. And we will encourage people to register multiple authenticator for the account recovery or for the fallback. Then we will deploy FIDO to all line services. Then people becomes not inputting and creating password anymore, since FIDO is universal and easy to use. Finally, we can eventually remove the screen to getting password for authentication and disable password as an authentication. We have couple of additional plans to provide FIDO for our services. So stay tuned and thank you for watching today's talk.